doing? This is Black Shy Guy here. We're almost in the midst of the McGregor-Poirier fight tonight. I don't know how you guys are watching it. Let me know down in the comments. If you're going to a bar, if you're staying at home with your family or friends, just let me know how you're gonna enjoy the fight. Anyway, before we continue, this is Black Shy Guy. Thanks for sitting on my table. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the light notification button for any upcoming new videos. Now, let's dive in. Listen, I don't know what's next for McGregor after he wins this fight or after he loses this fight. I mean, in my opinion, this is my sole opinion, I don't think McGregor needs to do anything more for the UFC. I think he's above the UFC right now when it comes to stardom. He doesn't need the UFC. I think he should go into acting or something, honestly. The man is hilarious. And basically, I just don't see any gain for him to go into the octagon and once again retain the lightweight title. There's no real big gain for him. I mean, this is a man who held 2 belts, he was basically the first man to ever do it in the UFC. So he's already reached the milestone. He's already reached the mile high of the UFC, and I don't think he could go any higher. I think the man he's in Hall of Fame already. He doesn't need to prove anything. If he's going into the octagon today to basically square off against Poirier, to basically get over the hump and more than enough win the fight, I think he's gonna win. I think he's more focused. I think this is the McGregor that we needed in the last fight. I think this is the McGregor that is above the amount of money he has in his bank account, because I think the last time they fought, McGregor was not focused. I think McGregor took him light. I think McGregor didn't even take him serious. He went in there and he was basically dominating the fight already. He was dominating the fight first and second round, and then things just crumbled apart. Poirier got that lucky hit on him, and McGregor was kind of stunned, never could recover, and he went down. But whatever the case may be, McGregor had him beaten. He had him beat. And for Poirier to think he's going to just come out and defeat him again, especially a more focused and determined McGregor. And it seems like, I don't know what you guys saw in that podium when they were speaking, all right? Yes, I think I saw a more hard-working McGregor when it comes to insults and when it comes to trying to get into someone's head. Before, I don't know if you guys remember, it was just his nature. He was just, he'll just flow into it. You know what I mean? Right now, it seemed like he worked hard on it. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm looking too deep into it, but the McGregor of before, he just walked right into it. You know what I mean? Right now, he just seems to be working too hard to try to get into Poirier's head. It just doesn't feel like the old McGregor, but it is the old McGregor. He's older, he's wiser, so obviously to dive into that old McGregor is going to be a lot more harder, because I mean the man is more wiser now. So it's like he knows he don't even have to dive into that anymore. He can just say what he wants to say and it'll sell. You know what I mean? But right now I think he's just proving a point that he can beat Justin any day of the week. And he can. Then he obliterated him in the first match. He basically obliterated him in the second match. And now in the third match, if he beats him here, to me, McGregor won 3 out of 3. Because that second fight was not McGregor. And you guys cannot tell me that was McGregor in the second fight. That was not McGregor. That was not McGregor. That was the McGregor who had his bank account all fat and he just wanted another payday. He just went in there, thought he was going to get an easy fight, and Justin caught him. That was the McGregor that we had. This McGregor is more focused, more determined, and he's talking about going for the lightweight title. And once again, I don't think he needs to do that. I think after this, it should be said and done, and he should be on his way, go to Hollywood, go acting, go to movies, whatever the case may be. You don't need anything more from the UFC, because you already took them to Mount Rushmore. You already took them there. What can they do for you now? You know what I mean? You already took UFC to the mile high. You know what I mean? The UFC can't provide anything more for McGregor. He's that high of an icon now. and I think he should move on after this fight. What say you? I don't know what you may think, but let's take a dive into the podium of what I was talking about at the press conference highlights. I'm not gonna show too much of it because you know how they are with the freaking monetization in YouTube, but Conor has this thing going about Poirier's wife. And is it funny? It's not that funny. Like I said, it doesn't feel like the old McGregor. The old McGregor would have took this and attacked it in a way better fashion. But it's McGregor nonetheless, a more mature McGregor. We always got to put that into mind. It's a much more mature McGregor right now, a much more accomplished McGregor right now. So for him to dive into that young, kiddish ways, not that it was kiddish, but you know what I mean, to dive into that young status he had, it's gonna be much harder because he's much more mature. He's a businessman. He's a boss. He over other employees now. I mean, he's basically an accomplished gentleman right now. For him to dive into that old way is gonna be way too hard. But hey, let's dive in nonetheless to what they were saying at the podium. Let's make sure that we got our I's dotted and our T's crossed.
Given here, everything's getting took here.
You see, this is the old McGregor. This is the old McGregor. This is the McGregor that we want. But like I said, it's going to be much more harder for him to dive into it because of his maturity. But this is the McGregor I really want. You know what I mean? I love seeing this man at the podium. I love seeing his fights. He's an icon, period. Let's be, whether you like him or hate him, let's be serious. McGregor is the Mike Tyson of the UFC. Look at Justin. Justin, I don't... I really don't think Justin is not even at McGregor's level.
Nah, straight business, man. This is, you're only a little... Your wife is your husband.
See, he's going into the wife scenario and stuff like that. And you see Poirier is like, you know, it's getting to him. Don't get it twisted. It's getting to Justin. But he's like, whatever, you know what I mean? I got a win off of this dude, so now I'm not going to let it affect me like it did last time, because last time McGregor was all in his head, and he even admitted it. He was like, this guy was in my head, and he basically tried to make the excuse of that's why he lost the fight. But you lost the fight because you basically got outclassed, so let's get serious. But I'm not trying to be biased, but it's facts.
You're only a little of a thing, a silly little hillbilly. Joe Lee's wife! Joe Lee's wife! Joe Lee's wife! Joe
That's
Lee's
those
wife.
fans over there, they were kind of live, but they were dead, man.
You used to be a lot better than that, man.
And that's true. That's true. Used to be a lot better. Even Justin speaks facts right there. It's true. McGregor was a lot better than what he's portraying here. And I'm not saying this is the a fake portrayal that he's trying to do. It's just a much more mature McGregor who owns a business, who's a multi-millionaire now. And no multi-millionaire who owns a business with the bank account that this man has is gonna go into the octagon and be willing to die like he used to. You know what I mean? Because before, he had nothing. So it was all about survival. He was a man in a cage, 2 men enter, 1 man leave. He was basically in Thunderdome. Now he's a billionaire, much accomplished, a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer for the UFC, who's taken the UFC to the stratosphere. He doesn't have to get in the cage and die. He doesn't. So that's why to me it interferes with what he's trying to portray now, because it just doesn't blend in as well as it used to, if you know what I mean.
Trash talk was a lot better than that. Weak.
Conor, in the build-up to the last fight, you were unusually kind to Dustin. Now on fight week, it's the
Yeah.
exact opposite. So when did that switch happen?
Because he got knocked the out.
Really? I mean, it's true. Maybe that can be.
Not McGregor fast, McGregor sleep.
Wow. And you see, you don't get it twisted. McGregor's just, McGregor's taking notes. He's like, yo, I'm gonna bust this dude's this. You know what I mean? Because it got to McGregor a little there. You can tell by the facial expression that, you know what I mean? And that guy spoke the truth. Last time, if you seen the last post press conference, McGregor was so nice to this dude. I was like, I know every McGregor fan was like, what the hell am I seeing here? This is not the McGregor I want to see. You know what I mean? He went in there, he was hugging up on Justin. Hey, whatever, let's have a good fight. I'm like, get the hell out of here. Because once again, he's accomplished. He has a business. He's a multimillionaire. He's just going in there to have fun. That was the difference. He was going in there to have fun. Now he's going in there for blood. Almost like the old McGregor, the McGregor that we all fell in love with.
This is my bread and butter. This is what, wakes me up in the morning with fire in my belly. Errors to correct, tactics to prepare for. So I've had a great camp, a great focus on the opponent, on the skills. What?
Throwing kicks this time.
Yeah, shut your mouth, you little fool. I'm gonna dance on your head.
Let's not show any more right there. As you can see, I know you guys who are really into the UFC saw this press conference like I did, and it's good to see the old McGregor back. It's really good to see the old McGregor back. I don't know. Like I said, if he wins it, I think he rides off to the sunset. I think he should not even try to go for the lightweight title. And he's talking about a third fight with Nick Diaz. That will be a really good sight to see, because I do want to see a third fight between them two. The fights between them two were amazing. And big ups to Diaz. He still has it. Remember, he fought Edwards and he still went toe-to-toe with Edwards all the way to the final round, and he wasn't even training and doing anything like that towards the UFC, because my man was just chilling. Yet he went into the octagon with the possibly the number one contender next to Kobe Covington, and still went toe-to-toe with that man. And now imagine Nick Diaz getting back into the grind, training hard every day, etc., etc. I'm not sure if he was, but I don't think so. I think Nick Diaz was out of it. And he still went toe-to-toe with Edwards. Nick Diaz is a freaking monster. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer, period. And I would love to see a third fight with Nick Diaz and McGregor. But I don't think McGregor has to go into battle for blood anymore. My man, you're a multimillionaire. You got businesses to handle. You already took UFC to the stratosphere, like I said. Don't want to repeat myself any further. There's nothing much more that you can accomplish in the UFC. Go to Hollywood, my dude, man. You're an icon, just like that. Go to Hollywood, do something else, because there's nothing much more you can do. But what say you? Maybe you guys think he should accomplish much more. But what's there to accomplish but receiving the lightweight title and regaining the title again? I mean, that's not that big of an accomplishment. He already did the biggest of the biggest. But whatever. This is Black Shy Guy. Make sure you hit the like button if you really like this video. Make sure you hit the sub and alert button. Make sure you stay in contact with my videos whenever it releases. Thanks a lot. This is Black Shy Guy once again. Thanks for sitting at my table. I'm out of here. Peace.